Sometimes you get little glimpses into who you're becoming, but there's a lot that's reflected about who you have been and who you are now in your reality. The most valuable thing to shift is yourself, is your perspective, is the mastery of your way of being, because that is ultimately what creates the life that you desire. I'm so excited to be here with you today. We're going to dive into the concept of detachment. This is something that so many people really, really struggle with, and it could be the thing that's keeping you from experiencing what it feels to actually have freedom, to create the abundance that you want to experience, wealth, deeper levels of connection with the people that you care about. Why does it matter? Why is it even important? When you are attached, whether it's being attached to a goal or a person, a partner, a friend, or even certain items or certain ideas, is that unknowingly or unconsciously, that thing outside of you is actually controlling you. It's actually what is dictating the decisions that you're making, the way in which you're behaving, the things that you're thinking, feeling are all a result or a response to the things that you are attached to, the things, the ideas, the opinions, the people, goals, etc. When you're attached, period, you are actually operating from the ego, not from having a big ego, but from the aspect of you that holds your identity, has certain perspectives, and moves in this world in a certain way. Now, there's nothing wrong with having an ego. It's just that we also have another aspect of us that I call our essence, right? So you may call this your soul, your spirit, whatever, your higher self. This aspect of us is communicating all the time through intuition. So when we are attached to something externally, we are constantly listening to our ego versus being able to hear from the intuition, which is the voice of the higher self. The ego really tries to be anywhere but actually in the present moment. It either is focusing on the past, so it does this through memories, replaying, oh, well, you remember when that happened, XYZ. We don't want that to happen. Or future. This is through the imagination. So it's constantly imagining and fantasizing about what the future might look like. However, our intuition is always communicating with us. It's communicating with us, though, in the present moment, because the past and the future don't actually exist anymore. There's no actual way to go back to the past or go to the future. So the present is all that exists, and the intuition, whenever you are focused on either the past or an imagined future, this is keeping you from feeling or keeping you feeling separate from what it is that you desire. A person that you love, a certain amount of money that you want to make, the, kind of notoriety that you desire, etc. This is an issue because this is literally the root of lack. This keeps you feeling like who I am, what I am experiencing right now is not enough. I don't have access to that. And so automatically the sensation or the feeling of lack comes in. So this means that essentially you want what you think you don't have, not realizing that actual, true soul desires come from desiring a certain experience or an emotion. So you can start to detach by seeking evidence of that emotion or that feeling that you want to have right now. So let's say that you desire to have $1 million a year business. And the reason that you desire that is because you want to feel luxurious. You want to experience opulence. You want to live beautifully, right? So you can actually find evidence of that and tap into that feeling now. So this is literally how you can also begin to magnetize what it is that you desire, because now you're operating from this feeling. You're moving through your day from the vibration of blank. The other reason why you need to detach is a lot of people don't realize that it is incredibly repelling and not magnetic. A really great example of this is if you've gone out to a bar or a club and there's someone who is so pressed on you, just all up in your face, right? Because they're attached to the idea of like, oh my gosh, I want you. Automatically, you start going, ugh, right? And start pushing that person away. This is happening all of the time to our goals, to opportunities we want, so on and so forth. We don't realize that when we are so attached to having to have that thing or that person, etc., we begin to actually repel it. So we really have to understand that there is not something externally that's going to solve the feeling. Listen, having money is absolutely great. However, I know a lot of wealthy people who are still miserable, still in survival mode, still living paycheck to paycheck. And that is not what I want for you. So we can actually create abundance from the feeling of abundance instead of from the feeling of lack, which will solve that internal discomfort. The other piece that I think is really crucial is to stop creating fantasies about there, or what's out there or what's in the future. Notice how at some point in your past you had a fantasy about what it was going to be like when you experienced blank, hit $10,000 a month, met the partner you would go on to marry, had kids, graduated from college. You had a fantasy, an imagination about how amazing that was going to be. And this is not to say that it's not amazing. It's just that our mind loves to pretend that once we have this external thing, then all of the other things, that all of the other problems, quote unquote problems that go along with it, won't exist. So the way that you can stop creating fantasies and actually be grounded and present in reality is start trying to see reality for what it is, not for the stories, the meaning that you imagined about that reality. You can do this by looking at things that happened in the past and the stories you've told about it, and ask, is that what actually happened? Start to notice when you add certain feelings or add certain opinions. Start to look at your life and the events that are happening as if it were just a movie with, like a silent movie, no music, no certain lighting to influence the emotions of the scene. What is that reality? And how can you see the actuality of the situation? The next step that can help you with detaching is allowing yourself to be fulfilled now. Stop waiting for something out there to fulfill you, and start looking for what is fulfilling to me right now, and fill your life with those experiences. Our emotions are generated from within us. There are like two people can have the exact same experience and have a different emotional experience, because our emotions are influenced by how we choose to perceive something. We can literally choose a perception and literally create emotions. The last step or shift that you want to make is to focus on your evolution, focusing on the journey and how you're becoming who you're becoming, not just the end result of what you want. Did you get there? Did you not get there? Why is it taking so long? When you do this, you are the only thing that you take throughout this entire life. You and your evolution is your greatest asset. It is the thing that you will never lose, at least this lifetime. Your level of becoming gets to carry on through all stages of your life. To me, there's not a higher or more valuable investment than yourself. It can be investing in your well being, investing in your physical health, investing in, what you pay attention to and what you are reading. The reality that you are creating, the reality that you are experiencing in your life is a direct reflection of who you are becoming, or rather, who you've been in the past. Sometimes you get little glimpses into who you're becoming, but there's a lot that's reflected about who you have been and who you are now in your reality. The most valuable thing to shift is yourself, is your perspective, is the mastery of your way of being, because that is ultimately what creates the life that you desire. I'm so glad that you spent a little bit of time with me today. I hope that this has been helpful for you and that you start to integrate this into your everyday life.